How do you create irresistible coaching packages that sell? That is what I'm going to share with you in today's video. Many coaches get really stuck when it comes to creating their coaching program. They feel totally overwhelmed. They don't know how to go through this process. They don't know what to focus on. They think that it's really complicated and they have to create this amazing program, and they start looking at what other people are doing or trying to pull from what they learned from their coaching certificate. And I want to break this down for you and really share a process that you can go through that makes it really simple. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. It's actually much easier than you think to create a really amazing coaching program, okay? Doesn't mean it's not super transformational, but as you realize, the more you work with people, that for most people, the transformation comes through the really simple things and just having the right support. So I'm gonna walk you through that process, really the different steps to creating an amazing program in this video. So who am I? I am Dr. Kristen Hartjes. I am a former chiropractor and functional medicine practitioner turned health coach turned business coach. For the last decade, I have been supporting coaches and healers in creating transformational coaching businesses where they can help their clients create amazing results and make money while doing so. So it's really important when it comes to your coaching business and having a coaching program or coaching offering that you understand the process of transformation that you are taking your clients on, and you can clearly communicate this. Okay. And that is why you want to go through and create your coaching program, and also so that you can help your clients get the best results. You want to be able to explain this, and this also really helps boost your confidence and your clarity. So clarity helps bring your confidence up. Your confidence also will come through working with your clients, but having a good baseline as far as understanding your coaching and the transformational process that you're going to walk people through makes a huge difference as far as your confidence as well. So you know, like, hey, this is the journey we're going to go on. This is the process I'm going to walk my clients through, and really knowing that from the beginning before you start working with someone. The other thing I want to mention is that I think it's really important, like having a really good program is super important, and knowing your process and being a really good coach. And I feel like there's a huge focus in the coaching industry on making as much money as quickly as possible. And how I like to shift my clients' way of thinking about this is create the most amazing transformational program and offering for your clients, and you will get paid because you have an amazing offering and you're doing an amazing job as a coach, not just to be focused on making as much money with as little work as possible, as quickly as possible. Like, that it doesn't end up feeling good to you or to your clients. And so when we can focus on creating an amazing service and in return getting paid amazingly for that amazing service and that amazing transformation you're helping people achieve, like, that's what feels really good on both sides. Okay. So let's talk about the steps that you go through to create your program. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a pen if you want, so you can jot down some notes. So the first is getting clear on your niche. This is step one. I did talk about this in my last video, so I will link it below. You can go back and watch that video and go through the process I give you there to get clear on your niche. You really need to know this to create your program, because we do create your program specifically for your niche, okay? Your program is totally 100% unique to you, but because it is created from your wisdom and your experience to specifically help people in your niche. So no one else will have the same program as you. It is totally unique to you. And this is why I do think it's really important to create your own program, because your own program is created from your wisdom, which is a mixture of your personal experience, maybe through your own journey, maybe through helping other people, maybe through your past career and what you did, also through your education, and maybe your interests and your passions. So that all comes into creating your program and is how you're best meant to serve other people. And so in your niche, when you went through your niche, we got clear on what was the problem you helped people solve, what is the result that people want to achieve with your support. And both of these are in your client's words. And the last piece is the solution, or your unique solution. This is where your wisdom comes in and what you provide. This is your program, your way of helping people, your technique, whatever you want to call it, and what we're going to go through and create right now. Okay. So number one, getting clear on your niche. Number two is I want you to, now that you know what the problem is and the solution, what you provide is that step by step how to help someone get from the problem to the solution. So if you know where they are when they come to you and they're like, I have this problem, can you help me? And you're like, you know where they want to go. And they're like, I want this to happen, right? I want to get to this place. I want to lose this amount of weight. I want to feel this way. I don't want to have these symptoms anymore. This is the end result that someone wants. The process that you're going to go through step by step, I want you to think about everything that that person would need to do, and maybe need to know to get from point A to point B. So problem to solution. This is what you're providing and how you're helping people with. So what is that? Brainstorm it, write it all down, everything that comes to mind. Don't overthink this. Just get it down, jot it on a piece of paper. Everything that that person would need to do, everything they might need to know to make that transformation, to get that result. Okay. And then what I want you to do, so that's step number two. Step number three is I want you to separate this into main categories. For example, so all the things that you wrote down in step two, separate it into categories such as diet, exercise, sleep, hydration, whatever the main big categories are that you're seeing from the lists that you made, I want you to separate it into those main categories. And this helps you kind of get some organization around what it is that you're going to be helping someone with. I want you to shoot for 12 or less categories. Okay. You may only have like 5 or 6 or, even less than that. So, I don't want you to have like 20 things or 30 or something like that. That's just way too many. Try to get it down to 12 or less categories. And 12 or less typically because a lot of times, a lot of the clients I'm working with are doing like a 12-week program, meeting weekly. So that makes you 12 sessions. If you had a different topic each session, that kind of makes sense. So 12 or less, I would say, to shoot for. You can definitely have less than that. And then each category, I want you to take and separate into there's 3 main things in each category that you're going to focus on and that people generally need to know or do to get a transformation. And it falls under 3 different things. So it's either knowledge that someone needs to have to understand why they need to change something or why they're having a problem with something. So what knowledge does someone need to have in that category? What actions do they need to take in their life to make a change or make a transformation in that specific category? So the categories from number 3. And what are the mindset shifts that someone needs to maybe make or think about or be aware of in order to make that transformation and get that result, okay? So number 4, we're separating the categories from number 3 into smaller categories of what is the knowledge, what is the actions, and what are the mindset shifts. So for example, let's look at like exercise as one. So if we were taking one of our categories from number 3 was exercise, then in number 4, I would say, okay, what knowledge does someone need to have about exercise to make a transformation here? And maybe it's just about how important it is. Let's say I'm helping people with cognitive health, or like people who are worried about cognitive decline, right? Maybe how important exercise is, and maybe even presenting studies about the benefit of exercise on our cognition. Okay. Then what actions do they need to take? If I'm working with someone on exercise, like I want to get them exercising. Okay. So what steps do I need to have them take? And maybe depending on where they're at personally, are they exercising at all? If not, like we need to start small. If they are already exercising, like what are they doing? Do we need to make shifts? Like, how much are they doing? What types of exercise? Like that type of thing. And maybe knowing what types of exercise can be most beneficial for cognition, like all that type of stuff can be really important to share the knowledge and to also have the action steps around. And then the last one is the mindset shifts. So for a lot of people, there's a lot of mind drama around exercise, right? Like around how much you have to do, what you have to do. You have to go and slave away at the gym, like whatever it is. So I can help my client. Maybe they have some mindset drama around exercise, and I want to get clear what their thoughts on exercise is. Do they have any resistance to doing it? And this is where I can help them with the mindset. Like, can exercise actually be fun? Can you enjoy it? Can you do things that you like doing? Can we set it up in a routine so it actually feels easy to you? Like maybe you're doing it right on your way to work, on your way home from work, or, whatever it is, so to make it easier and actually something that someone enjoys and looks forward to for that person. All right. So that's where the mindset shifts come in. So that's number 4. And then number 5 is knowing how long you're going to work with someone. So if you know what the problem is that someone is facing and you know the solution that you're helping them achieve, realistically, how long do you need to be working together to help that person get that result? And for most of my clients, a 3-month program meeting weekly seems to be what most people land on. But it can differ. So some people prefer to do every other week where they're meeting with people. Some people want to do a longer program. Maybe it's 6 months. I always say start with 3 months, especially in the beginning when you're a new coach, I think can be helpful. And then if someone wants to work with you for another 3 months, because maybe you are helping them with something that realistically is going to take 6 months. But sometimes a 6-month container can feel really long for both you and the client, especially if you're a new coach. I feel like it's just a big energetic container to hold. And the reason why I like weekly sessions, especially in the beginning of working with someone, so maybe for those first 3 months, maybe after that, you could spread sessions out, but it helps someone be consistent and not fall off the wagon of making changes. If they know they have that weekly check-in, it just has a nice cadence and really helps you stay on track, you and the client, as far as moving forward. So the 6th thing then is knowing your price point. Okay. I am going to make a video specifically on pricing because I do think it is a big topic, and I want to dive deeper into it. But having a price point that you feel really good about, you feel confident in, is a good price point for your ideal client, or your niche. Like that's really important. So the last thing I want to talk about is when it comes to your program and how you're structuring it. There's some of my clients like to do a client-led coaching program, which means you have what I like to say is your toolbox. So when we went through and we brainstormed everything that they would need to know and do to get the results, that would be your toolbox of what you have to help people with. But you aren't necessarily going to have a very specific structure as far as week 1, we're doing this. Week 2, we're doing this. Week 3, we're doing this. Instead, you allow the client to lead you to where they need to go based on what they're struggling with, what they bring up to you on the sessions, or like when you go through and you do like a health history or like a welcome packet and get really clear on like what are their biggest issues that are holding them back from getting the result. A lot of times that gives me a lot of information on what we need to focus on first. What's the biggest, most important things to focus on, right? And that will come up also as I'm working with my clients and each week checking in and being like, how'd your week go? What went well? What are you getting stuck on? All of that stuff will give me a lot of information as far as what to focus on with that client each week and what is most important to focus on to help them get the result. Okay. So some of my clients choose to do more of a client-led coaching program where the client is leading you to where they need to go. And I think the longer you're a coach, the more you're going to go towards this type of a program when you're working with people one-to-one, because it really allows the process to be like a partnership between you and the client, and allows you to really use your intuition and the client to lead you to where they need to go, which just, it makes a lot of sense and it works really well. In the beginning, some coaches aren't really comfortable with this and they want more structure, which you can have a program where you have specific weeks where you're going through specific topics. Like maybe week 1, you talk about, I was just using exercise as an example. You're talking about exercise. Week 2, you're talking about this. So that is an option. And you can have more of a structure that you follow. And for certain things that you're helping people with, sometimes that does make more sense. I would always allow some flexibility within this, because I do think if you can address the big things that are coming up for your clients and be interested in this, it will help you and your clients have a better partnership and help your clients get better results quicker, because once again, it's very individualized to that client. Okay. But sometimes as a coach, you may need to kind of like build up your skills and your confidence to get to a place where you feel good doing that. Some coaches feel good kind of diving into client-led coaching right away, but it's something you can check in with yourself, see where you are and how you feel about this. Okay. So let's do a quick summary of everything I talked about as far as the steps to creating your coaching program. So number 1, knowing your niche. Number 2, brainstorm everything the client needs to do and know to get the result. Just make one big list. Number 3, separate into the main categories, 12 or less, as far as what the categories are that you need to focus on to help the client get the result. Number 4, separate the categories from number 3 into additional smaller categories of knowledge, actions, and mindset shifts. Okay. Number 5, how long are you working together and how often are you meeting? And number 6 is your price point. Okay. So I would love to hear from you. Does this help you feel better and have more clarity about how to create a coaching program for your clients? Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, anything I didn't cover in this video as far as creating a program for your client. Let me know in the comments as well. I'd be happy to answer those questions. And if you want to dive deeper into the steps to building your coaching business, we always start with niche and your program, but there's a lot of other steps to actually marketing and building your business and getting clients. If you want to dive into those steps, I have a free training that walks you through those really step by step, like all the steps you need to know to build your business. And I will link that below this video. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. I have another video that I'm creating after this on price point. So if you do this and then you're wondering about the price, I will link that below this video. Also another video that I did about niche, I will link that to this video as well, so you can go and check those out. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time.